Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This your boy Roto Beast, and I'm here to present you my NBA picks for Monday, April 9th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. If you want to play the actual lineups that we're playing every single day, visit our website at www.rotobeast.net. So, hey, I told you guys I'm going to roll with you guys NBA videos all the way through the end of the regular season. Things, we're really starting to get down to the last days of the regular season. You got teams playing, guys that we've never even heard of. You got a lot of teams tanking, and then we got those couple teams that are really fighting for playoff spots. Those are the teams that we obviously want to target right now. Teams that games absolutely mean things to them. So yeah, I mean, hey, we've been on fire. Straight up, NBA has been on fire to end the season. MLB, we've started off, record hot, to be honest. Things are crazy how hot we started MLB. If you want to check out our results, see what we got going on, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at RotoBeast. Hey, if you're not part of the money team, you're absolutely missing out. So, we got a solid 9-game slate in the NBA. There's some definite spots that we can attack. Before we jump into these picks, though, if you don't mind, take a second out of your day. It really helps me out. Go down below, click that like button. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that for me. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So there's some games we know some information on, and there's some games we don't know nothing on. We'll start with what we know first. First, we got the Pelicans going into LA to face the Clippers. This game has a 227.5 implied total. New Orleans is favored by 6.5. Then you got Then you got Chicago going into Brooklyn. This game has a 219.5 implied total. Brooklyn's favored by 7.5. You got Portland going into Denver to face the Nuggets. This game has a 218 implied total. Denver's favored by 4. Then you got OKC going into Miami to face the Heat. This game has a 214.5 implied total. OKC's favored by 2.5. Then we got Sacramento going into San Antonio to face the Spurs. This game has a 119.5 implied total. San Antonio's favored by 13.5. And then we got some games. We got Toronto going into Detroit to face the Pistons. Cleveland going into New York to face the Knicks. Orlando going into Milwaukee to face the Bucks. And the Grizzlies going into Minnesota to face the Timberwolves. So that's kind of where we're at game-wise. Let's just jump into these picks. So we'll start at point guard, as always. You got Russell Westbrook going against Miami. Westbrook, anytime he's on the slate, you definitely got to consider him. The guy, he gets a triple-double almost every single night. This shouldn't be a surprise that we mentioned him at the top of the point guard position. Then you got Damian Lillard going against Denver. I love targeting Denver with point guards, so I definitely think that Lillard's in a great spot. There's only two things that kind of concern me a little bit about this. Lillard, he's coming back from an ankle injury. He did play well last game, don't get me wrong, but I just hate playing people who are just had an injury. Another thing that kind of concerns me a little bit about Lillard is that I don't like going with teams that are going into Denver. The altitude is definitely a real thing. For the most part, that's why Denver wins a lot of home games. They have that advantage of being in Denver regularly compared to teams that are flying in. Hey, it's a real thing for sure. But either way, Lillard, he's been on fire. It's just an all-star break. I definitely think he's a solid play. Then you got Eric Bledsoe. The price tag's starting to get up a little bit, but it's still fair. Going against Orlando, who's going to be on a back-to-back, I definitely think they could destroy Orlando right here. One thing I will note is that Antetokounmpo is a game-time decision. If he's out, it definitely bumps a lot of the Milwaukee players even more, so definitely keep an eye on that. Then we got Lowry. One thing I will note about Lowry is today they sat DeRozan. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sat Lowry tomorrow. Kind of give, their two stars some rest. That's definitely a real possibility. Wouldn't surprise me. If that was the case, then you would definitely want to look at a guy like DeLon Wright on the cheaper end. So definitely pay attention to that news. One more guy I'll quickly mention at the point guard spot. You got Trey Burke going against Cleveland. We know Cleveland doesn't play the best defense. Trey Burke has been on fire since he became the starter. The price tag actually went down a tiny bit. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a really good play. Somebody I'm going to be looking at. Then we go to shooting guard. We got Holiday. The price tag is way up there. I understand. But, this guy's been having a great season. Going against the Clippers in an up-tempo game. This game is going to be very fast-paced. And I really like Holiday. You got Chris Middleton. The guy, you need 40 for him to hit value against Orlando, up-tempo game. The guy's been playing very well, though. Look at what he's been doing. He's been very consistent on the season. The minutes are consistent. And like I mentioned, Antetokounmpo earlier, if he's out again, I would definitely consider Middleton a lot more if Antetokounmpo was out. Then you can look at a guy like DeRozan. Like I said, he was out today for rest, so I could definitely see them resting Lowry tomorrow, and he would play. And if Lowry was out, then I would definitely like DeRozan even more. Very fair price tag, $7,400 for him to hit value. You need about 37. He's averaging 38 on the season. Fair play. You got McCollum, very fair price. Just like I said with Lillard, I don't really like players going into Denver. The altitude, it messes with people. But the dude's a very fair price tag. He's a starting shooting guard, second best player, backup point guard when Lillard's not on the floor. So the guy just gets tons of usage. And one more guy I'll look at on the cheaper end is, where is he at? You got Malcolm Brogdon. It's looking like he'll possibly come back tomorrow. He was out with a quadricep. If he comes back, he may be on a little bit of a minute restriction. But, if he's going to play, we'll say 28 minutes. If he's going to play 28 minutes, 26 or 28 minutes at a $4,000 price tag. That's a very fair price tag in an up-tempo game against Orlando, where I think Milwaukee is going to really, crush Orlando in this spot. So I will definitely look at him on the cheaper end. Now we'll go to small forward. You got LeBron. Super high price tag, but LeBron's LeBron. Look at his career numbers at Madison Square Garden. The guy could absolutely have a monster game in this spot. You need 6,500 for him to hit value. He's averaging 55 on the season. As one of the higher priced players on the slate, I really do like LeBron a lot. Antetokounmpo, like I said, they got him as he didn't play last game. He's a game time decision going into tomorrow. If he plays, you could definitely look at him in this spot against the Magic. It's a great spot. But if he's out, then you got to look at all the guys around him to definitely pick it up. The price tag is up there as well. So for me, he's strictly a GPP play. Then we got Paul George going against Miami. Paul George is Paul George. Straight up. He actually went against Miami not that long ago, and he didn't have the best of games. He only got 27 fantasy points. At this price tag, we need at least 40. But he's been really picking it up the past couple games. He's got at least 20 actual scoring points in 4 of the past 5 games. He's been scoring the ball a little bit more. He's going to play tons of minutes. He definitely plays some really good defense. So I definitely think you can look at him. Then we'll look at a guy like Beasley going against Cleveland. Cleveland, they're bad at, playing defense. They try to just beat people by outscoring them. Beasley, scoring machine. We know that about Beasley. It's all about minutes with him. If he's going to play 30 minutes, he's going to get you close. I would say he's going to get you 35 fantasy points if you're going to play 30 minutes. Like I said, it's all about minutes. At this price tag, you need 32 for him to hit value. Maybe a little bit more of a GPP play just because we don't know where the minutes are going to be. But I definitely like the play. We got Hazonia. He's been playing a lot of minutes for the Magic. This guy's a guy who he has 40 fantasy point upside. I've been playing him a ton this year. And I've only got him chalked maybe 1 or 2 times. Every other time, he's always low owned. I don't know if he's just not a star player or somebody that people really don't know, so they don't play him. But if you're into fantasy and you're into making money, you know who this guy is. Going against Milwaukee, it's a very fair price tag. For him to hit value on this price, you're going to need about, 20... I'm sorry, you're going to need about 28 for him to hit value. I definitely think that he's a solid play. Lastly, I'm going to look at a guy like Kyle Anderson. His minutes are actually starting to trend back up a little bit. They were down for a while. Going against Sacramento, you need 27 for him to hit value. And like I said, I mean, he's starting to get close to 30 minutes a game. He's going to fill up the stat sheet. Been playing well the past 4 games, at least 23 fantasy points. At this price tag, we need about 27. But I definitely think that you can look at this guy. I think that he's a solid play. Now we'll move on to power forward. Anthony Davis going against the Clippers. This is an absolute great spot for Anthony Davis. Don't get me wrong. The price tag is just way up there. That's the only thing that's like about him is, do I really want to pay this much for him? I don't know. I may rather go with LeBron for a little bit less, but I think that you can't really go wrong either way. You definitely got to consider Anthony Davis, you got to consider Westbrook, you got to consider LeBron. There are 3 other better players on the slate, so I definitely like them. Now we will go to Aldridge. Aldridge is doing everything for the Spurs right now. They're pretty much riding this dude, till the wheels fall off because they want to get into the playoffs. It is what it is, to be honest with you. And so yeah, I definitely think you can go right back to the well. The price tag's up. For him to hit value, you need about 50. He's averaging 40 on the season. But, look what the dude's been doing. He's got you at least 50 in 4 straight games. The only thing that concerns me a little bit about him is it could turn into a blowout quickly. The Spurs are favored by 13.5. But if he's going to play his regular minutes, definitely got to look at him. Kevin Love going against New York. I like, targeting New York. Definitely. They're not that good of a team. I just hope that this game doesn't turn into a blowout. That's my only thing. We don't have a line on this game yet, so we don't know what Vegas is really predicting. But Kevin Love, he's a double-double machine. Very consistent. You need 40 for him to hit value. He's averaging 33 on the season. You got Paul Millsap going against Portland. I really like Millsap in the spot at home. They really don't have a power forward that can guard him. What are they going to put on him? Aminu? He's too big and strong for Aminu, and I definitely think he'll dominate Aminu down low. If that's who they're starting at the power forward position, so we got to kind of keep an eye on that. At this price tag, you need about 37 for him to hit value. He's averaging 32 on the season. Then we can look at a guy like Mirotic. Don't get me wrong. He's been up and down, up and down. But, the past 2 games, he's played 35 and 40 minutes. That's massive minutes. And he's scoring the ball well. He's shooting the ball well right now. He's got you at least 20 fantasy points. At 20 actual scoring points in 4 of the past 5 games. Guy has 50 fantasy point upside. We know that. He got 50 fantasy points in 2 straight games. I think he's a really, really good GPP play. It's all about minutes with him. If he's going to be on the floor, he's going to get, tons of shots. You need 35 for him to hit value. He's averaging 29 on the season. Then we got, I'm going to go down, get you a little value. Jeff Green. The guy, the minutes have been up and down for him. That's been a problem with a lot of people right now. Is the minutes are up and down. They're trying to get rest for playoffs, etc. But he's got at least 31 minutes in 2 straight games. 25 minutes in 3 straight. At this price tag, all you need is 22 for him to hit value. He's got you 25, 25, and 42. So he's playing well. Definitely, he's playing well. I like him in the spot. I like everybody. I pretty much like all the starters for the Cavs. You could throw in a possible couple role players in there. Pretty much anybody that's going to play 25 minutes or more against the Knicks, they have a chance to have really good games. Then we'll go to center. We'll finish it off. Jokic, his price tag is up. He doesn't have the best matchup against Nurkic, but this guy has just been on fire, and he's at home. Look at this. He's got you at least 50 fantasy points in 6 straight. Tons of 60 fantasy point performances. The upside's there. The price tag's up, though. You need 57 for him to hit value. I don't know if I'm going to pay it for any. If I have to choose, a Westbrook or LeBron James or Davis or Jokic. I don't know if he's going to be the one I'm really going to choose, especially in this matchup against Nurkic, who's a really big body that could give him some trouble. But solid play, been playing very well. The numbers don't lie. Drummond, Drummond for me, I mean, the dude's just a GPP play. He's just super expensive. But, I mean, he does have 70 fantasy point upside. At this price tag, you need 55 for him to hit value. He's averaging 45 on the season. I still like him, though. I definitely think that you could look at him, like I said, more for GPP, though. Then we will go to Karl-Anthony Towns. I would never like targeting centers against Marc Gasol, but I don't know what's going on with Marc Gasol. Memphis is taking, they're like taking so bad. They're only giving Marc Gasol 20 minutes a game. So if he's only going to get 20 minutes with Marc Gasol on him and he's playing 35 minutes to 38 minutes, he's getting the extra 15 to 20 minutes without Gasol on him. Oh, he could definitely have a monster spot. 50 fantasy points is what you need to hit value. He's averaging 44 on the season. Guy I'm really liking. Vooch. I know he's on a back-to-back, but he only played 23 minutes today. But I love big guys going against Milwaukee. I told you guys last time he went against Milwaukee, play him. I hope you guys did. I did that day. He played 33 minutes. He got us 22.99 for 54 fantasy points. I definitely think he can do this again tomorrow. I definitely do. It's as long as he's gonna get his minutes, he has a really good chance to to have a monster game. At this price tag, you need 42 to hit value. He's averaging 37 on the season. And then lastly, a guy that I brought up, Nurkic, going against Jokic. I understand, but I mean, he's fair price. You need 40 for him to hit value. He's averaging 32 on the season. I mean, this guy, he's one of those guys, like, there are guys that if they get minutes, they kill. But when they don't get the minutes, that's when they bust. And he's another guy in that case. Look at this guy. I mean, he 40, 40, 40, 40. Okay, yeah, 24, 29. He didn't get the minutes. 30, 40. The guy could have a monster game. He's going to be really low owned, so I think he's a really good GPP play. And then one more guy I'm going to quickly mention. You can look at Biyombo. So they're going to be on a back-to-back. So Vucevic, I mean, as much as I like Vooch, I think that his minutes could get a little bit limited. And if he's going to play, say Vooch is going to play 28 minutes or 26 minutes, and Biyombo comes in and plays backup center, maybe gets a couple minutes at the power forward position. I could see something like that happening as well. I mean, all you need for him to hit value is 20. I mean, he's a really, really good fantasy points per minute kind of guy. So yeah, no, I definitely think that he's a solid play on the lower end. And like I said, with it being a back-to-back, I could even see Orlando resting a couple dudes. They got nothing to play for. I mean, it is what it is. They want to lose. So definitely, I mean, so to sum it up, this slate, we got a lot of injury news that we got to wait for. I mean, we've been waiting for injury news pretty much every single day right now. And tomorrow's just another day. I mean, it is what it is. I try my best with these picks. I do this the night before. So I hope you understand that a little bit. But yeah, I definitely think that these are some solid core plays that I'm looking at right now. So yeah, let's just kind of, one more guy I want to quickly mention. Just cheap GPP. You got this guy right here. He's been playing very well. This guy Dotson. The past 2 games, he's got 35 and 29 minutes. I mean, he's pretty close to minimum price, and you need 20 for him to hit value. He's got you 51 and 27 actual, 51 and 27 fantasy points. That's what? 11, 12 times value on the Miami game, and then he got you, even on this price tag, that's still 7 times value on this price tag. So, I mean, the guy, Cleveland, they don't play no defense. We know that. So, I mean, he's a really good play tomorrow. I definitely think he's a good value play that you can look at. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with these picks, to be honest with you. One thing I really really am looking forward for tomorrow is we're gonna see if Toronto's gonna rest Lowry. If that's the case, like I said, then you really got to look at the guy DeLon Wright. You can even look at DeLon Wright either way because Van Fleet left the game, which is the backup point guard. He left the game today, so they're short a guy. You know, they had a couple guys go down. So they're injured right now, and their guys they have are going to play some minutes. The games don't really mean much for them anymore, so they're going to try to get their main guys as much rest as possible. So yeah, so there's definitely some value that we're going to look at on this slate. So let's jump into these core picks. But before I do, hey, hit that like button for me. Make sure that you're subscribed. You know, and hey, let's just jump into this. So we'll start at point guard. Point guard that I really like tomorrow. I mean, I like Trey Burke. The guy's playing a lot of minutes. You know, he's played at least 30 minutes pretty much in 5 straight games. This one's 27, but, you know, it was close. You know, I'm not sure exactly what happened. And he's been very consistent. Very consistent. So I like Trey Burke right here in that spot. Shooting guard, I'm going to go with... let me see. We gotta see what's going on with Antetokounmpo. Because if Antetokounmpo's out, I mean, I'm gonna go with for sure with Middleton. But if he's not out, then you probably kind of want to look elsewhere. Another guy I forgot to mention, I think he's a very fair price tag. Lou Williams. Okay, so he's doubtful from Monday, so we have to look away from him. But he's a good price tag as well. I'm gonna go with Middleton. I like Middleton in the spot. Even if Antetokounmpo plays, I mean, the guy's still getting his. Definitely. You know, he's somebody that you really should look at. Then we'll go with LeBron. And then at power forward. Oh, man. We'll go. Let me see. Was he starting? Boom, boom. Hold on for me 1 second. Yes, I like him. I think he's in a great spot. And then at center, going Vooch. Like I said, I mean, there's gonna be value tomorrow. Mark my words. There's gonna be a lot of value. So I mean, I know we only got 4,500 right now, but we're gonna plug in a couple cheap guys, and a lot of things are gonna open up. So I definitely think this is a solid core right here to kind of get you going for tomorrow. Just keep an eye on the injury news. Keep an eye on, you know, there's some people on back-to-back. See what's going on with that. But yeah, hey, if you want to talk about people that I didn't talk about or that I didn't elaborate on, you know, enough, hit me with a comment below. Let's talk about it. You know, hit me up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at RotoBeast. Send me a direct message. We could definitely talk. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.